Hello and welcome to the daily Black Desert News. Yes.
Woo.
Yes. I'm just gonna jump
Yes.
straight into it. The Taiwanese version.
Jump. Keep going.
The Taiwanese version of Black Desert got released some weeks ago, and they had an interview related to that with a bunch of details and stuffs.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read through my notes here. So, fun fact: Taiwanese version is the first version of the game which is published directly by Pearl Abyss, which is interesting.
Oh.
I'm jealous.
And they mention a bunch of stuff they're doing to the game. For instance, they're planning on adding a flying mount, some kind of airship, for instance. That's the example they used, which can take you anywhere on the map. They didn't mention any other details than that. I would assume that it would be maybe like the NPCs ferries, like they go between specific cities. That's what I would assume.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Okay.
This is the marketplace camel. He judges your every move in the marketplace. So other stuff they mentioned, they feel the current awakening weapons are maybe a bit too strong compared to normal weapons. So they're considering to do a combat update where they will boost all the main weapons, and they refer to this as like the second awakening, which makes it kind of feel like maybe they'll do more than just like a balance update, but I guess we'll see.
Oh, that's what they mean by that. I thought it actually literally meant a second awakening weapon for a third combat option.
That was I was thinking as well, but yeah, like they specifically say that they think awakening weapons are just too powerful, and they want the main weapons to be more on par with them.
It is more confusing English from Black Desert. Nothing new.
I wonder how drastic those changes will be then. Like if the skills will actually change, or if it's just going to be the attack power or whatever, the effectiveness of them.
I wonder if Dark Knight is any indication of these balance changes, because her main weapon seems kind of strong. Like she seems like she has some strong pre-awakening skills.
Yeah, I would be curious. It's kind of weird how the game works, because it's partially their own fault. For instance, your main weapon AP, 50% of that will apply to the awakening weapon, but it doesn't work the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they just tweak stuff like that, like then the main weapon will be more on par. But yeah, they mention other stuff here. They're working on adding more regions to the game, but one thing specifically they want to work on is try to expand some part of the world vertically. For instance, add like very tall snow-covered mountains or very deep caverns. So I think that'd be cool.
Yes, that would be cool.
And they're considering to work on higher level fishing. They don't really specify what that would mean. And they also mention a new trading system involving workers is something they're considering to add. That could be interesting.
Huh.
And they said they've worked on a smartphone app which lets you play the game remotely, but it was just so slow that it didn't really work well. They're still working on it, but it's not something they're certain if they'll finish and release.
I have trouble picturing how that would even function.
And they also mentioned they're actually working on another smartphone game which is set in the same universe, but it won't be the same game. I don't know if it'll connect to the same servers in any way, or if it's just completely different. And they also mentioned that they are working on Xbox One and PS4 ports of Black Desert.
I'm going to be very curious how much they'll have to cut back on the graphics to get those versions working.
Yeah, they also mention that they're not sure if those versions will be directly compatible with the PC version. So that makes me think like
cross-platform.
Yeah, so that makes me think like maybe they'll have to dumb down parts of the game to make it run well on consoles, and that's why it won't be directly compatible. I don't know, because I mean the game, it's very demanding on PC.
Yeah, we have a good example on screen right now.
Oh yeah, this was one of the. I think there was a big turkey boss many months ago, and yeah, it was popular for like 1 or 2 times for people to arrive, and yeah, it kind of murdered the frame rate. But yeah, I am very curious. But I think it would be a really good move. Like, it would introduce so many new players to the game, and I really hope they would be able to make it directly compatible with the current server, so like console and PC players would be able to play together. but it would be a big optimization push for them to make it actually function well.
Yeah. It's also one game that could perhaps benefit quite a lot from a PS4 Pro or a Scorpio.
Yeah, but
they can't make it exclusive to those systems.
Yeah. That's a problem. You have the system where you're supposed to like make the base game work well on a normal PS4 and a normal Xbox One, and then like the PS Pro and an Xbox whatever it's called version is supposed to like support higher frame rates or higher resolution. But in this case, like getting the base game working on a standard PS4 Xbox One, that would be a big challenge, I feel.
It will indeed. I wish them luck.
In doodles. Any other comments about the notes from this interview about Airship worker trading system?
A worker-based trading system might actually get me involved in trading a bit more, because as it stands right now, I don't really do it at all because it's a lot of work, a lot of active work.
It can be kind of tedious.
Yeah. So it's not like you get a funny moustache in your face at the end of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm certainly intrigued about the airship.
I think the thing which makes me most excited about that is just seeing the world from like that far up. Like I think that would be a good moment. Just take a ton of screenshots.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Good opportunity to turn perspective. Good opportunity to turn Hind mode on as well.
Yeah. And if it works the same way as the ferries, then it would be also scary, because what if you go up there and other people gank you? Oh yeah, I'm set back to other side of the world now. Oh well, too bad. Wasted that half hour.
It'll happen. Maybe the sky will be a safe zone.
The entire sky.
But it'll also be a good opportunity to take the Guild Elephant on a trip.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And then jump off.
It would be a lot of fun if you had a tier 9 Pegasus and jumped off the airship.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
If you could ever get a tier 9 Pegasus, maybe I should just like very briefly mention all of the details about how to get a tier 9, because I've looked more into it recently, because it's something I was aiming to do.
Oh yeah.
So first of all, you need a tier 8 horse, which is a Corsair. Like Corsair is a horse with very specific skills. In the case of tier 8, you need to have charge, sprint, drift, instant acceleration, special instant acceleration sideways, and special sideways. So those 7 skills. And getting a tier 8 by itself, very, very rare. Getting those 7 skills in a tier 8, super, super, extremely rare. So once you have that, then you can try to awaken it to a tier 9, which will require 200 materials, which will drop through fishing, farming, combat, but they're very, very rare. They sell for 500k each on the marketplace if they're sold there. So if you're able to buy all, like that would be, I think it would be 100 million for one attempt. And apparently the awakening chance is pretty darn low. So if you finally manage to get through that entire process, you will get a tier 9 Pegasus at level 1, and it starts with 2 skills. And then you have to go, like, that leveling process must be a complete nightmare, because what if you level up a tier 9 to level 30? That's like 8 skills.
Oh.
Black Desert!
I can't even process all of the RNG and the randomness and chance that it takes to get to that point.
It is.
I just got my first tier 8 a couple of weeks ago.
It is, that entire process is to say, like, then the bright side is that once you finally get that tier 9, it will actually be worth between 2 to 3 billion, so that's a good thing. But still, like, that is so insane. So insane. And I really want
at some point those become more accessible.
Yeah, like, I think it'd be really fun and really cool to have a tier 9, but, like, I'm not sure if I would be able to ever go through that entire process, because that's just so insane. So, other big news is that they've partnered up with this Japanese software developer. I've forgotten the name of, Silicon something. And
Silicon Studio?
Yeah, and they've licensed some some software from them, something called Yibis, I think it's pronounced, which is a middleware library focusing on various post-processing effects. So should have some screenshots of that here. So this is basically with the Yibis turned off, and this is with various effects turned on, with the game running with the Yibis middleware. So this middleware, like it has a ton of features. It lets you add in depth of field, motion blur, film grain, lens flare, glare, HDR. I mean HDR in both the old and new meaning, anti-aliasing, God rays, color grading, and a bunch of other effects. Like it is very much focused on like mimicking the look of like camera and film. And there's another example here, like with God rays.
Yeah, see, that looks nice. I think the first screenshot they've gone a bit too far.
Yeah, this is just like blur heaven right there. This is all blur.
Yeah.
So they also have a tech demo out you can download, which also lets you like look at examples with features on and off. So like this is with everything on, and this is with everything off. So this is a much more drastic example, because I think this uses almost the entire feature set of Yibis.
I can't help but notice in that first screenshot, when you turn the effects on, you like lose 100 FPS.
Yeah, I guess it's worth mentioning though, like the frame rate was already darn high.
Yeah.
If you look at the frame time, it adds overall around 2 to 3 milliseconds. So for instance, if my frame rate was already around 60, the effects would remove about 8 frames per second. Like the frame rate would go down to around 52. But I am very curious and slightly scared of how this will be implemented, because like there's a lot of blur.
Yeah.
And even in the in-game example here as well, it just I mean, I can see this being kind of cool for like screenshots like this, but you would never play the game like this.
No.
But it'll be interesting with features which are already in the game. Like the game already has God rays, but I guess these look better. But I also hope that these new God rays are better optimized. So maybe there's a slight chance this might actually reduce. I mean, end up with a very small performance upgrade for the game.
That'd be nice.
Because a
That
lot of
would
this,
be nice.
because a lot of these features are already in the game. The game already has motion blur, depth of field, God rays, and other things. So I'm just hoping like these new features, they're just faster. Like that would be nice. I'm also hoping this will finally mean we'll finally get better AA in the game, and the sharpening filter goes away forever. That would make me happy.
Please.
Yes.
So I can babble about some other various news. There's this crazy person in the community who's done a super crazy thing. His name is Aquamatey, and he reached 56 with all his characters. Wow! Awakening with every single character. That's so insane! Holy shit!
Wow.
And
I think you should get lots of free stuff.
And even bigger news, he's here right now with us! Wow! Wow!
What? Ryman, why didn't you tell us?
It's like being
it
with
was
royalty.
a surprise. An exclusive interview with the one, the only, the Aqua Matey.
I don't know why I did it. I'm uninstalling the game right now.
Okay, end of interview.
Indeed.
So, speaking of crazy people doing crazy things, one guy in the English version of the game managed to reach level 62.
Yikes.
Now that's crazy.
62.
And he said how many hours it took him, right?
62. Yeah. He spent 2,000 hours over the time span of 5 months. So that is roughly 13 hours a day spent grinding to get 62.
And to
Grinding combat
clarify,
and nothing else.
and to clarify, that 2,000 hours, that was just for getting from 61 to 62.
Yes. From 61 to 62. Do you have any idea how much
hell?
time you spent getting to 56 with all characters?
I have no idea, but not anywhere close to that. Like, I like just to put it into perspective, like we made our Dark Knights like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
and mine's already at 53.
Yeah, mine's is 52.
And just getting from 55 to 56 is the longest part of the process.
Yep.
But I can't imagine I can't imagine getting all the way to 62 with a single character. Like if I combined the time put into every single character, I think I'd be surprised if I was even at like 59 at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is insane how much more XP you need for each level up. At that point, it is really insane. It's also I am very surprised it happened this fast, because it was only, I think it was November last year, the Korean version got their first level 62 character. So this guy has has dedication. There's no doubt about that. Like, that is pretty insane.
Yep.
It is insane and a little bit scary.
How much is he still enjoying the game, I wonder?
I don't know. I hope he's having fun now as he's level 62, and he finally unlocked his final awakening skill. There's one skill which required to be 62.
I hope it wasn't disappointing.
What class was he?
Wizard.
Okay. I can understand that a little bit more, because I love Wizard Awakening's my favorite.
Wizard is just in general a super popular class now, because I think they and like Berserker are generally seen as the most powerful classes. I'm not sure.
His Aqua Gel is my favorite move.
I do like Bull-Eyed. Like he has.
And it's actually called Bull-Eyed.
Yeah.
I'm curious now though if there's a way to combine all the combat experience of every single character I've gotten to 56. What that would look like on just one character.
It would be interesting. It's just too bad those numbers aren't visible anywhere in the game.
Yeah.
There was like this data leak 1 or 2 years ago which showed the XP required for each level, and I want to say it doubled for each level or something. I don't know. Anyway, you need a silly amount of XP for the higher levels. Very silly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one thing I kind of dislike about the upcoming Camasylvia region, is that the quests in that region requires you to be level 58. And
Really?
I think 58 is already a fairly high level. That takes a fairly long amount of time to reach. I think right now we have only 3 people in our guild for 58.
Yeah, I won't be ready for that.
So
My wizard is barely 57.
So that bumps me out, because I think it would be fun to do those quests in a party, but I won't have that many people to party up with. And I'm only barely 58 myself. If people want to see how I reached 58, I have a video of that on my website.
I had a feeling.
It was a very, very intense grinding session, but I made it. I finally made it. There was a little bit of news. People had apparently done some data mining in the latest client, and they found a bunch of mentions of skills for a class which hasn't been added yet. Some kind of martial artist using a gauntlet. And there's no other details. Like, we have no idea if this is female or male. I mean, we don't even know like if this is actually like if this will become like a real class. Like, who knows why that text is in the game? That apparently there's mentions of these skills for something.
Yeah, I always take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt. Not just because it's not official, but also because they've kind of changed their mind on several things in the past, like Male Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back to one of the earliest trailers, you can see the male ranger, like the male elf, and he was never added.
Yeah.
And we got the Dark Knight just a few days ago, so that means the only content Korean version has, which we don't have, is Dark Knight Awakening and Camasylvia Part 1. Otherwise, we are now fully caught up to the Korean version. So that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. It's nice.
I wonder if that means after we are officially caught up, if we'll start getting content at the same time. If they'll try to do that, or I guess it still has to go through a localization process.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe like this is the pacing we can expect. Camasylvia and Dark Knight was released just a few months ago, so maybe 1 to 2 months is what we'll have to wait usually for content to get to our version.
Oh, it's not terrible.
Yeah. And by the way, there was a video some weeks ago where they teased the Dark Knight and they mentioned the Dark Knight and Kama Silva would be released in March. So now we already have the Dark Knight, and hopefully Kama Silva Part 1 isn't too far away.
Yeah, it is March.
I guess we'll see.
And just earlier today, I haven't looked at this closely myself yet, but earlier today they released a infographic about the game for its first year anniversary with the various details, with various stats.
Ah, yes.
So we can start looking through this for the heck of it. So, I guess this is a fairly good indication of how many people have bought the game. I'm not sure. Like, would this count players or characters?
Yeah,
Players, right? Since it's adventurer and not character.
Yeah, I think that's players.
And speaking of like high levels requiring a lot of XP, a very small percentage is actually like 56 and above.
That's true. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah. And the classes of all those characters.
A lot of sorceresses.
Yeah.
Sisses.
Valkyrie is surprisingly popular as well. I didn't expect that to be many of those.
I'm surprised there's so many ninjas. Because people have had a lot of negative things to say about the way they've been implemented.
I guess it maybe just shows that people talking on like Reddit forums, they might just be a minority.
A lot of tamers too, considering how much negativity they're surrounding that class.
Yeah. What's over here?
Hmm?
Oh, okay. This is Europe. This is
Europe.
NA. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
But it seems
They look
like
pretty similar.
percentages are very similar.
Even more ninjas in America.
And I don't think they're being very subtle about this. This is like a cry for help. Please add more male classes.
Wait, who made this infographic?
This is from Kakao EU.
Yeah, so this is official.
This is how much silver people have gotten in total. And when they listed this number, this is actually my storage right here.
You wish.
Okay, and I feel like it's time. I feel like it's time we do a 20-hour argument right here about the English language. Is it really silvers?
I mean, I would just say silver
I think.
in this context.
Yeah.
Silvers?
As a currency, it'd be silver. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of any instances where silvers would be used like that.
Because like it would be like a reference to like it being silver coins. So yeah, I feel like silver. It would be like the S shouldn't be there. Like this is something which has bugged me in the game as well. Like the game itself goes both ways. Like there's some cases where it's called silver, some cases where it's called silvers.
Even on this exact screen that we're looking at right now, look, it says silvers up here, but then it says silver down here.
Yeah, I don't understand the localization for this game. So the top families with the most silvers.
How can a month be a family?
Lava.
I'm kind of surprised actually revealing like family names. Who is this rich? But yeah, if a player with 18 billion silver, that's a lot of silver.
I'm also surprised that, like, the disparity between Europe and America here.
This isn't really proper English either.
Oh yeah, there's several things wrong with that sentence, especially silvers. It's also possible that these numbers aren't too accurate. Like maybe this guy has several billions in pre-orders. And I've also noticed in the North American version, I think there's like 3 or 4 Tet Auger rings which have been sold recently, and those are like, I think it was like 3 or 4 billion each, maybe even more. It's crazy, and those actually sold. Siege Wars.
Oh yeah, that thing that we don't do.
Number of dead adventurers.
Well, we're dying less in EU.
Yeah.
And here come the guilds.
And here's where there will be a lot of drama in the forums when they talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Have fun. Fight each other about it.
Oh yeah, this part.
Yeah, not that many. Well, actually, when I think about it, this is actually more pens than I would guess. So, Europe has more like pen armor, and North America has more like pen weapons.
Yeah, so it would seem.
I would take a pin dandelion
Yeah,
as a birthday present.
it'd be cool.
I can't even remember. Is Ring of Carded Guardian, aren't those super cheap? I can't remember the stats for them.
Yeah, they're DP rings.
Hmm.
In fact, like, so, alright, so that's DP, that's AP and HP. I think that's DP as well, and that's both AP and DP. Whereas in America, AP, 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 AP.
Hey, Sectus.
Hide that! Don't shout!
Yeah, you could make the...
Okay, moving on.
It is kind of funny that there's a little bit of truth to that meme, how like America values APO above all else. Horses.
Yeah, horses. I find this number to be like, is this really right? Is this really right? This is the amount of tier 8s this low?
Yeah, even they can't believe it. Look at this text at the bottom.
I've had 7 tier 8s in total. That's like that's almost 10% out of all tier 8s ever.
I even have one, and I've barely tried that much for one.
I just find this really weird to believe. Like, that seems like a really weird low number.
I thought there might be more tier 7s as well.
Maybe they only count the amount on the server right now, and they don't count the ones which have ever been born, because there's a lot of horses which have been used for exchanging.
Yeah, perhaps.
Most deaths on one horse.
Yeah, alright, so I got a little grammatical quirk. Shouldn't it be like, I'm not sure if that's correct. In?
Yeah, it should be on one horse, right?
Yeah, I think so.
On or for. But I bet 209. I bet that soldier pony. Poor guy.
Alright, so I don't get this, because I was going through all the Velia MCs to see who actually had knowledge and stuff for getting Amity. This dude has nothing. No knowledge, no quests, nothing for raising Amity. So why is it so high?
From one family. So that means there's one family in the game which has this Amity with this NPC? Why? Why?
Yeah, why?
Is there a person? Is there a person in the game who's like, does the Amity minigame for fun with this NPC? What? I'm so confused. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. Screw the Amity minigame.
That's so weird. Popular pets. It's kind of funny. It's kind of fun that the penguin is far up, and that's the only one you can't buy out of this.
I was thinking of getting one of the hawks next,
Hawk is not bad.
or maybe the desert fox.
Although I have heard the birds are slightly slower at looting than other pets because they have an animation for like they have to glide down to the ground before they can pick up anything, so that like makes it slightly slower than other pets.
Okay, maybe desert fox then.
The desert fox is pretty cute. Pretty cute.
Mm-hmm.
Glug glug.
Yeah. I've made a lot of that. %90 of those were caught by Akamete, by the way.
Yeah.
I did do a lot of AFK fishing. And 90% of those workers are yours.
Yeah, they worked on our elephant.
Here we go.
Oh, that's the bottom of the list.
There you go.
They like their birch.
I mean, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Crazy birch.
Iron is used in so many things.
Yeah, and well, you also have those nodes, which give you black crystals. So I imagine
Yeah.
a lot of people go for those nodes for the black crystals, and they don't care about the iron ore, but they end up with a ton of iron ore because of it. So yeah, that's neat information and interesting localization. Silvers. I would be really curious what other people think about silvers. Should it be silver or silvers? Very interesting question.
Lava.
Lava.
Hang on, go back up a bit. How? All right, so that's millions. What's above billions again?
Trillion.
So 11 trillion silver. Yikes! Just yikes.
Let's just give that to me, please. Cool. But yeah, I guess that's it for the podcast. I've gone through everything that I've prepared.
We eagerly await the next new content for the game, whatever that will be.
Mm-hmm. If there are people out there who haven't played the game yet but they're interested, I think the game still has a try the game for free for 7 days thing, and we still have slots free in our guild if people want to join us.
Yeah, I just checked the front page of the website. There is a 7-day free trial still available.
So people can contact me if they're interested in that. But yeah, that was it for podcast, so bye!
Bye!